What up? It's me, the man on the ceiling. How's it going? My name is Dean Dane. I have a key light. I'm holding it. Ooh, spooky lighting. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Dean Dane. I'm going to be your friendly local DM here on the internet. Hope everyone's doing all right. Having an okay, all right week so far. We're going to do something a little different, something we don't normally do here. Something that I do in my free time sometimes, but that you and I don't normally do together. So, just going to see if maybe I can get the microphone a little bit closer to me. That seems dangerous. Hold on. Yeah, whatever. Good enough, I guess. Yeah, we're going to be painting. I've decided that I wanted to paint a mini today. It's something I've been wanting to do for a little bit. I haven't done it in a while. So I'm a little bit out of practice. But I've got my paintbrushes here. I've got my mini. I hope everyone brought your minis for the painting class today. I'm sure you all did. I recommend popsicle sticks. We'll see why here in a little bit. And I'm going to at least be doing a little bit of work on this guy. This little Cerberus guy. Nope, I'm going to hit the mic too, though. That's my choice. Bought this at a convention a little bit ago. Yeah, I think if you don't have paintbrushes, if you have a cattail, that works too. I didn't realize this guy has a mount. Like a saddle, right in there. Right in there. Can you see I'm pointing at it with my paintbrush? It's like this little saddle divot. So apparently somebody rides a Cerberus. So that means I gotta find a miniature that I can put a little guy on. But yeah. I'm so small. I mean, I'll make myself bigger. This is my normal size. Hey, Spice. Hey. It's not the size that counts, okay? Sometimes things are cold and they look a little smaller than maybe they would otherwise. Sometimes. Enjoy playing API error.
Regular, basic entry Snickers, they're okay. I think some of the other...
You happy now? That's right. Shout out, by the way, to Game Chops. DMCA royalty-free music on YouTube. They allow streamers like me to use it. Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright. This is not my normal painting space, so we're going to make do with what we have. But, oh, I wonder, actually. Ooh. Spooky lighting. Ooh. Nope. Leaving that off. So yeah, that's our mini. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how we do. So, also, one other thing before I get started. Well, at least one other thing. I do plan on I have some Extra Life rewards that I need to give away. Some books, some Magic the Gathering decks, that sort of thing. They will be piecemealed out throughout the year because I am not wealthy. But I haven't forgotten, so if you're expecting me to do that drawing, we'll do it live on the channel, and we will announce when we're doing all that just as soon as we can. My apologies. I know it's February going into March. I'm being handed the Godlight from the Spice and Rose. I'm so afraid of this thing. The God Light! Hello, children. Spice has an amazing artist grade, crazy key light. This is 10%. This is 10%, chat. This is 10%. Crazy. I also don't really know like where to put it, if I'm being fully honest. We'll find a spot for it. Highlight, my ladies. You'll see everything! Changes colors? Got RGB up in here? You know, apparently 10% is as low as it goes. How low can you go? Oh, I just turned it off. Yeah, it goes 10%, 0%. Don't worry about it. I'm actively trying not to blind you guys, so we'll see if I'm successful. Stay. Be cool. Right. Okay. So. Hey, Squiz. Welcome in. Extra life rewards, soon TM. And we're painting tonight. So that's the thing we're doing. Blackberry Dr. Pepper, not bad. Some things I recommend you have on hand if you're gonna be doing some painting, right? I'm typing. Don't judge me. Welcome in, Agnew. So yeah, some things I would recommend having. A palette. Something to hold your paints. You put paints... I am painting today. You put your paints in the thing. A cup of water. This is not for drinking. This is for paints. A primer. I wish I had a black primer. All I have is a gray primer. So we're going with gray primer today. An assortment of paints. You need them to paint things. Ooh, BG3? Heck yeah. Paintbrushes. I dropped one. I've been watching a lot of videos of this one fitness guy. And his delivery is so funny, and I'm trying really hard not to copy it. Get yourself some paintbrushes. A bunch of different sizes. It's not that serious. Flexes. Paper towels. It's good to have. And you don't need these, but you can also get some washes, or we can create our own. I also kind of recommend duct tape and an old pill bottle, because you can tape your miniature to this pill bottle. And that way you can hold it in one hand, which I might actually try to do. I've got it in this like carrying case, this 3D printed carrying case, but I actually might try to do that. Oh, I'm all right. Yeah, I think that'll work. Thank you. Spice and Rose, the much better artist, has just donated some paint. Because she's awesome. free the beast here. You guys can see it a little bit better. Little Cerberus guy. I thought he was cool. I picked him up at a convention. I was like, there's a lot of cool details in there that I could have some fun with. Plus, painting monsters is a lot easier than painting humans. Because you just kind of like... Or at least I do. I know, right? I told her. I mean, I know she's a better artist than I am. Absolutely. Agbu, I agree with Squiz. They are the master of the Baldur's Gate. But I did both. I went through the Underdark first. If that helps any. Put some tape down. My duct tape's kind of old, so I'm hoping this stays, but we'll find out together. And it was all yellow. And there we go. It's on a pill bottle, so I can just kind of like twist it around as long as I'm careful. It's a little bit wobbly, but we'll deal with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be secure. Or whatever we're passing for secure these days. The artist is ill and going to crawl into Skyrim or fall asleep. Place your bets now. Alright, chat. What's the over-under? I got 20K on falling asleep. Well, I didn't realize until my subsequent runs, you can go back to any of the waypoints in Act 1 and Act 2 until a certain point. That is pretty crazy. Alright, so we're going to be trying a new technique I've never done before called Slap Chop. Slap Chop is basically where you apply a base coat or base coat of black primer, dry brush it with gray paint, dry brush it with white paint, and then paint your mini as normal using some speed contrast paints. And then you apply, I think you do a new layer of black on the base and let the thing dry. But here's the thing. As stated before, I don't have black primer, so we're going with gray primer. We're going to do gray primer, black paint, gray paint, white paint, blue plant, purple plant, red plant. That's a dumb joke. As with all paints, shake. I'm going to mute while I do this because it's going to be a little gross sounding. I haven't used my paints in a while, so I'll be shaking them quite a bit. Enjoy that, I guess. It has been a while. Clip it all. Go for it. I'm so nervous. wonder if this may have sealed itself shut a little bit. I do have a brand new bottle that's never been opened, but this is like half empty, so it feels like such a waste to like open a new one, you know? This isn't paint, this is primer. This is a bottle of primer. I don't know if you have primer. You probably do. You're spicing goddamn rose. Artist extraordinaire. Gem State Gaming Cons, official artist. Etc. Etc. I could go on. But I can feel you shrinking from the light as it is. Whoa, that's way more than we need. Okie dokie. Well. Would you like some primer? Bloop, 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 bloop. It's very fresh. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, I have a brand new bottle in the living room of gray, but I do want some black primer. Well, you know, Agaboo, about that, as long as she feels well, I think we have some breaking news. The problem is I don't have a really good place to set this. And unlike my other palettes, it's not uniform. So we're just gonna, ooh, calm down there. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, as long as she feels better. Planning on streaming Valentine's Day. Spice and Roses. Come join us. I say us because I mean I'll be there too. This is way too much primer. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And again, I know my setup is not very conducive to this. This is something I'm trying on a whim, and if we like it, we'll do more of it. But, you know, because I know it's like, you guys are really, you're just like watching me look down. Welcome to Look Down Simulator 2K25. Oh shit, I actually forgot to do something today. Do I announce it now? Or do I actually go through and do it the proper way? That is the question. The reason you want to prime your minis is it allows the miniature itself to hold paint better. I'm sure that there are people who are much more talented than I am who would claim differently to what I'm about to say, but I've found you don't need to be too careful with priming. In my opinion, just getting a coat of primer on there is pretty much good enough. Obviously, you can be as meticulous with it as you want to. You can take as much time as you want to. For me, I want to get it drying as soon as possible. I'm impatient. I want to start painting. I do buy a lot of pre-primed minis for this very reason. I still actually do prime those, though. Typically speaking, I go through and I reprime them. But supposedly, you don't have to. And what's cool about priming and about Slapchop Though technically we would be priming in a dark color, not in this gray color. But you can probably already see on the heads. Well, come on, focus. There's some differences that if this were in focus, you'd be able to tell. Well, you can kind of tell there, so. One pops quite a bit better already than the other. I do owe you guys a cat stream. Speaking of Fuzzy Criminal stream. We'll probably keep them in one room for that, because they are a handful right now. They've been roaming the house. And anything that they can put in their mouths, anything that they can get into, any cords that they can chew, they try to. And while it's very cute, and I want them near me all the time, that's not conducive. I don't want an electrified kitty, you know? Unless we're talking like a Pokemon or a Digimon situation, and then I suppose I might be convinced. They are baby cats, it's true. And it's kind of what I expected, to be honest, but even so, there are definitely some times where it's like, this is a bit beyond the pale of my experience. So this is a 3D printed model. The guy who makes them, or prints them, I guess I should say, he pays artists for a license to their creation, was the story that I was told, which is kind of cool. And since this model is 3D printed, the mouth has like filament lines, but it looks kind of like saliva, saliva lines, which I think is kind of cool. An unintentional, I think, feature, but a feature nonetheless. Gotta make sure I get in the mouths and the face crevices pretty heavily. Those are the areas that I'm most excited to paint. So I just want to make sure that the coating therein is really nice and even. Nice and saturated. Yeah, so as I was mentioning before, with Slap Chop, the painting method, not the appliance from the 2000s. You do a black coat primer, then you do gray, and then you do white, and what it does is it pulls a lot of the details out. Well, I ain't got that, so we're going to do a gray primer to have it primed, then we're going to do a black coat of paint, and then maybe a gray coat of paint, maybe just white. We might just skip the gray step. Or use the white as the gray step, I mean. And this is not a technique that I am very well versed in, to be honest. I meant to get some contrast paints and some high-speed paints, which I don't have. But, hey, we'll use the kit I've got, and if that's not good enough, then this is a learning experience. Every time you do a hobby, no matter what it is, you learn something, whether it's successful or not. I really do think that's true. You know? And yeah, I would prefer this to come out. I spent good money on this mini months ago. Not, I mean, crazy money, but good money, right? Like, I purchased something from a vendor that I wanted to paint. So of course I want this to come out. I want this to turn out. I want to be able to put this on a battlefield and have my players go, ooh. But, as with everything, you have to suck at something to be kind of good at something. I'll admit, work has been very stressful, and I did not sleep very well last night, so I thought about canceling stream. But I really wanted to do this, and I really wanted to come see you guys. Because I feel like that's important, you know? Spending time with good people, even when you don't feel great. And that's one of those things, too, for my fellow streamers out there. If you're not feeling it, there's nothing saying you can't end early. You know? Sometimes you get in the middle of something and you're like, I don't love this. Bye. I didn't show you this one step that I normally do. Typically speaking, I take a paintbrush and some soapy water. Use like Dawn dish soap. Hashtag not a sponsor. And you just sort of go over it with the toothbrush. That gets a lot of the dust out of the cracks and crevices. And that's a thing that I forgot to do on this mini right here. And I can already tell there's a couple of places where I'm like, there was some dust in there. This is not adhering to the miniature in that pocket as well as I would like. But that's okay. We call that a happy little accident. In the Fred Rogers School of Painting. I almost said Steve Rogers School of Painting, which, while cool, would be very different. Just kind of plugging away here. You know, Cerberus is cool and all, but like, where my three-headed cat at? You know? Nothing wrong with doggos. I like the doggos. But where's my, like, cat guardian of the netherworld? I guess we have the Christmas book cat. That's something. Oh. You do energize me. No, absolutely. You know, streaming is a lot of work. For those of you who don't know, and I don't mean to say this as like a negative, I love streaming. And if I could stream full time, like if I could afford to figure out how to do that, I would. I would stream full time if I could do it. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's a goal of mine. Because then it makes it a little too real for me. And makes me sad that I'm not there yet. But, you know, on a long enough timeline, I would love to stream full time. I'd do more stuff like this, you know, we'd try to get some sponsorship deals up in here. There's more on that later. But you guys do energize me. Chat always does. I almost always walk away from a stream feeling better than when I entered it. Almost always. But to be fair, that doesn't mean that streaming doesn't take a lot of energy, doesn't take a lot of work, you know? And this is not at all meant to be negative or meant to be a bad thing. This is something that I love doing and I chose to do. So take that caveat for what you will. But, you know, I'm sitting here talking for hours on end. You know, I'm basically talking consistently the whole stream if I can help it. And there are moments of silence here and there, right? We just had one a few minutes ago where I was looking down and focusing on what I was doing. But, you know, it does take energy to be entertaining, and I love that. And it gives me energy to be entertaining. I want to be entertaining. I want to entertain you, chat. I want to entertain you. But it does take some effort. And it doesn't matter if you're a face streamer, if you're a VTuber, if you're no cam, if you're variety, if you're a League of Legends streamer, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter what what you're streaming and how you stream, it does take effort. It does take energy. And that's a good thing, and it should, but it is sometimes tiring. Not to say I don't love it, because I fucking do. But, yeah. Overall, I'd say you all energize me more than you drain me. All things considered. I'm very fortunate, and everyone says this, but it's true for me, so suck it, everybody else. I'm very fortunate that I have such a great community. You guys make me want to come here and stream. I was talking to Spice just before stream, being like, God, I'm so tired. I didn't get very much sleep last night. I'm just, I don't know, I'm feeling really wiped. And they were like, understandably, hey, you know, you don't have to stream. If you need a night off, take a night off. And I was like, yeah, but like I want to stream, you know, because I do. Spice is a great voice of reason. But it's hard, because like I am tired, right? But I want to stream. It's an interesting conundrum. And I could have played a game tonight, and I thought about it, but I was like, yeah, you know, let's just do like a little cozy, chill night. We'll see how far we get. See if we finish this guy up. We may not. He's got a lot of like cracks and crevices, that's for sure. Some great place to hide paint, but also some annoying as fuck places. Yeah, work has just been a lot. I mean, it is what it is, and it's learning new stuff and doing different things, and I try not to complain about it a lot, and I feel like it's all I ever complain about. It's just not super in line with my passion. It's not what I want to be doing. You know, as an example, I'd rather be here with you, chat. I don't love what I'm doing vocationally, and it's not really paying enough to pay my bills. I mean, it is more or less, but each month is a little bit of a struggle, just to let you behind the curtain a little bit. I'm not sitting over here being wealthy, you know? And I can sometimes afford some nice things. I'm not like dying over here. I'm not destitute. I'm not, you know, worried about losing the house, but there are certain commitments that I've made that I'm not going to back down on, right? And so they take precedence. Things like rent, things like bills, things like a lot of things. And so it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes things get pushed a little bit by the wayside. You have to put things on the back burner. You promise people a TTRPG book drawing, and then you can't afford to buy one for a little bit because you got other obligations, which we're getting to. I promise. I promise. One of y'all's getting a book from me. Merry Christmas or something. I just lost a piece. I don't know where this piece came from, but it came from somewhere. Your boss talked you into staying on yesterday. Well, they must think very highly of you, Squiz. And honestly, they are better for you being there. I can tell you that. I know that was a hard decision for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot to consider. And, you know, a hard decision for sure. But for what it's worth, from my perspective, knowing what little I do, I think you do good work. I think you are going to help a lot of people because of this, and I'm hoping it will be worthwhile for you. And I mean, hey, you can always quit later, you know? Hey Z, what up? You're the only hard scientist on staff. She kind of needs me. Well, yeah, absolutely. Plus, you get your shit done. You do good work. You know, that is rare in this day and age. Not just in this day and age, that's rare in general. Finding people you can depend on and finding people who will get their shit done when you need them to is huge. Plus, it sounds like you and they have a rapport. They respect you. They trust you. They, you know, are willing to go to bat for you where they can, from what I've heard. So, yeah, it makes perfect sense that they'd be like, please don't leave. Because I would be in that same boat if I were your boss. Why doesn't it keep driving? Because I'm tired, and rather than canceling stream, I decided to do a chill night of painting. But keep driving is on the docket. I know you're teasing. I know you're teasing. But my brain told me, hey Doug, you got two options. You either do this thing you've been meaning to do, but do it on stream to justify, I don't know, existence, what we do, or you cancel stream and you rest. And I was like, but I want to stream. And it's like, yeah, I know. So which option is it? I was like, I guess we'll paint a mini. Oh, it's one of the supports from the 3D printing. That's wild. Work is important, which is why you ended up staying. Yeah. Oh, and you like your boss and coworkers? I mean, that's a huge part of it too, right? Like, I have had some shitty jobs that were made so much more palatable and I stayed way too long at because I liked the people I was with. Which, I mean, you know, one could argue is better or worse, I suppose. I think we're about there, chat. In terms of our base coat. So what I'm doing here, I'm checking with my light just to see if I've missed any cracks or crevasses, if you will. I am kind of going through it a little bit to sort of even out any sort of gloopy areas where primer has accumulated. I want this to be kind of thin, but not too thin, right? Sometimes you can get it a little too thin, and then the paint doesn't hold as well. In my experience, at least. Let's get just a little dabby dab. Kind of envious of those folks out there who wear makeup often. I feel like y'all's brushwork is probably way better than mine. I'm just kind of going over a couple of places. Where I feel like we could use a little bit more coverage. Focus. So you can see there's a difference, right? Other than color, between the dark base and the gray of the Cerberus. We've made sure to get into all these little cracks and crevices. Whoop. Because that's going to help us hold the paint a little bit when we get there. I am by no means a master painter. I am absolutely an amateur. Doing my best out here. But there's a couple of things I've made that I'm proud of. And maybe this will be one of those, right? You never know. I'm really excited for some of these cracks and crevices, though. I feel like when we get some dark paint in there, oh, it's gonna sing. What's the Emperor's New Groove is one of my favorite, actually probably my favorite Disney movie of all time. When the sun hits those hills just right, it'll sing. And that's just it, right? Like, I'm not doing this to enter contest. I'm not doing this to, I don't know. I'm doing this because I wanted a cool Cerberus mini that's painted for my D&D games. But also, like, you know, it's the thing I've done so far. Even if I just put this on the battlefield now, gray as it is, been like, oh, it's a gray Cerberus. They're different. Don't worry about it. It's just kind of neat, you know? I think it's kind of neat. And as I was saying before, don't be afraid to suck at something. Try something new sometimes, you know? Put yourself out there. Just see what happens. You never know. You might be really good at something that you're not doing. I never thought I'd paint minis. Even when I had like little pewter guys from, you know, 2nd edition, I never thought I would be painting minis. And yet, also never thought I'd be streaming, because I didn't know what streaming was at that time. I was tiny. Streaming didn't exist at that time. Stay. Sit, boo boo, sit. Good dog. Yep, punch my mic. Enjoy the well. Yeah, we're just going to hang out for a minute while that dries. Oh. Pardon me. Pardon me. TTRPG facts. Well, the new monster manual for D&D 5th edition comes out this week. Pretty cool. Pretty cool from what I've read about it. Seems like they've made some good changes. Some things make a little bit more sense. The location of certain monsters is better. Let's see. What else is there in the world of TTRPGs? I'll be honest, I haven't kept up on it as much as I would like. Oh, I just had something. Yeah, I don't know. I lost it. But the Monster Manual is coming out, which is pretty cool. They have a couple of different like variant forms of monsters. So like, I don't know if this is one, but like skeleton, skeletal archer, skeleton mage. You know, kind of just differentiating one monster a number of different times, so you can use them collectively, right? Where like maybe 2 skeleton warriors is a CR 1/2, or whatever, and then you throw a skeletal archer in there, and it's a CR 2, because the skeletal archer's badass, and then you throw in a skeletal mage, and it's like a CR 5 or whatever. Yeah, I've been trying to as well. It's easier said than done, but trying to as well. I should probably prime the rest of the base, actually. Let's just do that real quick while we wait for the Cerberus himself to try. The base I care a lot less about. Like, there are some really cool details on here, but I'm just sort of like, meh. It's like Power Wash Simulator, right? Where like, yeah, I'm trying to get into the cracks and crevices, and it'll be a good job if I do. But like, if I miss a spot, whatever. Not the end of the world at that point. Yeah, and I know I'm not the only person who feels this way in regards to the news in general, but I oftentimes feel like I need to be kept aware of things, but I also need a break. So it's the guilt of trying to take a break versus the depression of being informed. But hard to say. Hard to say what it is I see in you. Wonder if I'll always be with you. You enjoy that. You enjoy that, Sister Hazel. Pretty sure it was Sister Hazel. The song sounds kind of Persona-y. And I like that. See the bill that Republican G induced wanting to make Greenland into red, white, and blue land. Nope. Sure didn't. Not surprised. We'll see what happens, y'all. America might be cooked. Or, you know, we're the start of like a Final Fantasy Empire, so that could be fun. You know? It's always so hard for me too, as a content creator. I want to speak all of my opinions all of the time. I'm not afraid to do that. Don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm kind of opinionated. But I also know that a lot of people come to this sort of thing as an escape from the real world. They're trying to leave that behind them for a time. So I'm happy to discuss things in private, obviously. But I am a little bit conflicted sometimes. And no one's done anything wrong. Don't get me wrong. This isn't supposed to be a reprimand or a censure or anything of that nature. But I just philosophically am sort of stuck a little bit between wanting to speak my piece and wanting just to have a silly laugh along goof time. Yep, silly laugh along goof time. That's what I said. where we just hang out and are silly and have a good time, or try to have a good time. Try to forget our woes for a little bit. Whatever those woes may be, whether they're political or personal or what have you, right? So I'll admit, it is a little bit hard for me because I don't quite know where I land on it. I want to do both. Because this world, regardless of time and place, this world can be dark. And yes, I firmly do believe there's always people out there combating the darkness, regardless of what the darkness might be, whether it's the boogeyman or hunger or, you know, life-changing children's needs. Whatever light there is in the world, people bring it. There's always people bringing light. I just don't know. You know, I just don't know. And again, this isn't a bad thing. This is a safe space. Please feel free to unburden yourself as well as you can. Though if it gets out of hand, of course, I will say something. But it is hard to know where that line is for me. I don't know personally. Because I want it to be both. I want my cake and I want to eat it too. So I don't know. Not quite sure how I feel about it. Hey, Dicey. All hail the all hydrate. Everybody drink. Get yourself some hydration, chat. My lovely mods, could we get a shout out for both Squiz and Dicey, please, when you get a second? I would, but I have paint hands! That's not technically true. There's no paint on my hands, chat. Just to be clear. Just to be clear, I've been very careful. You all should be so fucking proud of me. But, well, I guess I do have a little bit of primer on this index finger. But other than that, no paint on my hands. It's mostly that I'm painting and don't want to put my paints down to give awesome people a shout out. If we do the new Twitch standard shout out, the one that doesn't play a clip, there will be a cooldown timer imposed. So we'll have to wait a minute or two to get both of those out the door. But yeah. Thank you, Spice. Oh, I don't have a... Oh no, it just froze. It froze in the middle of my face. I wish I knew why it hated your stuff so much. I'm so sorry, Daisy. Also, I know it's saying API error. There is an API error, actually, legitimately this time. Funny enough. So I tried to refresh my tokens before going live, and even after refreshing my tokens, it said that there was a token authorization error. And this was at 7:27 p.m. in Mountain Standard Time. So rather than make you all wait as I tried to figure that the fuck out, I was like, fuck it, we go live. And here we are. I figured it wasn't as needed right now anyway, since I'm painting, but then I have cool friends who I want to have shouted out, so joke is on me. Everyone, if you're not already, please go consider giving Squizmeridon and Dicey Vim a follow. Both amazing content creators, some of the most badass people I know. I shouted out Spice and Rose earlier when they were giant. I'm sure we all remember that. But please give them a follow as well. Talented artist, incredible person, feeling under the weather. So, support these three amazing ladies. They are just absolutely rad as hell. 10 out of 10, do recommend. Dun, 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 da, da, dum, ba, da, dum, da, da, dum. Honestly, content way better than mine. All 3 of them. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. And that's not a knock at me. My content's great. I love my content. I made a 10-minute video today. On TikTok about the color combinations from Magic the Gathering that I think Final Fantasy VI characters would be. So that's your jam. Go check me out on TikTok. But, like, I make good content. These 3 people make great content. That kind of goes for all the people I know. All the people I know who are doing streaming and content creation, in my opinion, do content creation better than I do. And it's so fucking rad. Do you know how cool that is for me? Because I get to learn from them. I get to watch what they're doing and go, fuck yeah, we ball. So yeah, if you like my content, check theirs out. I would bet you'll like it as well. They don't ramble as much as I do, to be honest, to be fair to me. So if you're looking for ramble content, I got that in the fucking bag. But the 3 of them are incredible content creation people. They make awesome content, varied content specific to them. So I would highly recommend checking each of them out for a different reason. But and hey, before anyone gets on me, before anyone's like, well, why are you just referring to them as a group? Are they like a stream team or something? Like, nah, they're individuals and they make individual content that's fucking badass as individuals. But if they were to combine like some sort of fucked up amazing Voltron, it would be unstoppable. I actually kind of like these painting streams, even though this is the first one I've ever done. Because right now I'm not reading chat, so I don't know what y'all are saying. You could be saying fucking anything right now. But I'm just over here like, beep, 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 talking about my friends. Fuck everybody else. Do, 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 do. It's been a while since I had held a paintbrush, yeah. It's been a while since I bought this Cerberus. I just lost another piece of... Let go. Let go. So, there's a couple of songs, this is one of them, that every time I think of them, I think of an old creator in the YouTube era, the original YouTube era, who did what if certain video game songs that didn't have lyrics had lyrics. And they're a little bit problematic, as most things made in the 2000s were. But this is one of them. Talking about Toad. The guy's name was Brentalfloss. Hashtag not a sponsor, but like, hope he's doing well wherever he's at. But I think about it every time it comes on. Every time this track comes on, I'm like... And he's got lyrics. He did Final Fantasy. He did Mega Man. Give you guys a little bit more of a view. The painting's more important. I appreciate that. Support all 3. That's because Agbu, you're a badass, and we appreciate you for it. I mean, I am fantastic. No, like, no doubt about it. I agree, Squiz. I'm awesome. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not putting myself down. No. I'm lifting people up. I do great work, but I have learned things from each and every one of you. And that goes for all my content creation friends, honestly. Sometimes y'all will do shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I look into that? The way they do this thing is so cool. It's just part of like... And again, this is not putting myself down. I do not mean this pejoratively towards myself. I do some good work. Is this Christmas? Alright. Christmas in February. Fuck it. I used to give Spice a lot of shit for listening to Peanuts all year round, so I guess this is my comeuppance. Oh, wait, no. Do do do. Do do do. This is Zelda, but it kind of sounds like Christmas. But no, like every time I see a friend doing something, you guys, I mean, everyone's a little bit different, right? So like sometimes y'all will have an idea on how to do something that I've never thought of, and it's just like it blows my little mind a little bit. And that's part of what I really like about knowing people who are more talented than I am in certain areas. You know, there are some people who understand. I mean, my buddy MC Chizu, shout out to MC Chizu, he does like voiceover and radio and other stuff professionally. Like he's an audio tech guy. So like there are things that he's doing on his stream with less equipment than I have that sounds better and looks better, and he doesn't keep hitting the mic with a paintbrush to start. And I don't know, it's fucking rad to be able to like see a person and watch how they grow and watch what they do and go, holy shit, I never would have thought of that. That's incredible. I don't know. I just think it's cool. Not that I'm doing bad stuff. I'm doing awesome stuff. I'm doing me over here. I'm doing the best I can. There are things I want to improve. There are things I want to have different. I want to have better audio. I want to have a better setup. I want to this, that, and the other thing, right? I want to give you guys the best because you adventurers deserve the best stream I can give you. And right now, this is how that looks. Damn it, it hates quizzes too. Well, balls. Sorry, y'all. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what its deal is. But yeah, I don't know. There's just like cool people doing cool shit. That's what I want. That's why I want to be rich, right? I mean, I don't want to be rich, but like, that's why I want to have more money than I need, because I want to support cool people doing cool shit. If you're doing cool shit and I have more money, I'm giving you money to do cool shit. That's just how it works. Right as a Persona song comes on. All right, I see you. I see you, playlist. Shout out Game Shops. But yeah, no, I want the financial backing to do good recklessly. That's my goal eventually, right? I don't want to get rich. I don't want to fucking be wealthy. I don't want to rule the world or whatever. I want to help others and myself make a mark on this world, and to make the mark good. To make shit that matters, that helps people, even just a little bit, you know? I'm not saying we have to solve world hunger. If we can, I'm down for it. But just to help cool people doing cool shit. It doesn't matter, like, Squiz, I know you just mentioned, because I looked up at chat for just a second. You're like, oh, I don't talk or interact with chat or anything like that. But like that's okay. You don't have to. That's maybe not your strength, right? That's not like a thing you need to do. But like there are things that each and every one of you do that is so much fucking cooler than you give it credit for. And I'm guilty of this too, I'm sure. I think we all are. We all have been taught to downplay our accomplishments. And it's kind of fucking bullshit, you know? I've done some pretty fucking cool things so far. And I'm going to keep fucking doing cool things until I die. I don't know if it's going to change the world. I'm hoping. Right now, it's changing my fingers. But all I'm saying is I'm a shapeshifter at Poe's Masquerade, hiding both face and mind. If you get that reference, you a real one. If you don't get that reference, I love you. But yeah, I don't know. Like there's just everyone's on this content anyone who's content creating, or even just creating in general, right? Even if you're not creating content, even if you're like painting or drawing or writing or running a game or building a Magic the Gathering deck or whatever, doing something creative, some sort of creative pursuit, regardless of how quote unquote well you do it, doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, I understand. We're all on this journey. We all want to get better. We all want to improve. We all want to have the time and energy we need to improve and to continue to do shit, right? But the fact of the matter is, you do something unique to you. I guarantee it. It's there. You do something that only you can do, that I can't do, that another creator just like you couldn't do. That's part of what makes humanity rad as fuck. Some people, like me, don't shut the fuck up. We just keep talking. And for whatever reason, some people are like, hey, that guy's kind of funny. Let's listen to him. Or interesting, or... I don't think smart is an adjective used, but maybe, well, you know. And that's just it, right? Like, I'm a smart guy about some things, but I'm ridiculous about others. It's just not part of my strengths. Not to say I couldn't get better at them if I tried, right? Again, you have to suck at something to be kind of okay at something eventually. But, I don't know. I just think it's rad as hell. Like, it's so cool knowing people with different strengths, or even similar strengths, but in different fields, to you. And I'm fortunate enough to have that. You know, in this case, I'm talking about streaming, but it's true in other aspects of my life as well. I don't know. You know, it's kind of one of those things, and I know Squiz, Agbu, you guys are going to give me shit for this, but it is one of those things that I do get a little bit frustrated about when people, especially people around my age, complain about being old. And don't get me wrong, I get it. We're all aging. We're all getting older. None of us are as young as we used to be. And I'm not trying to single you guys out for the record. But it's one of those things, right, where, like, who gives a shit? I understand the body slows down. I understand some things are harder than they used to be, or not as easy as you wish they were, or whatever. And again, not singling Agbu or Squiz out here in general. This is a royal you situation, or a royal we situation, or what have you. But yeah, you know, like, Stan Lee didn't get his start until he was in his 40s, I believe, maybe 50s. I don't quite recall, but you know. There's a lady here on Twitch called the WoW Grandma, and she just streams World of Warcraft, and people love her for it. She probably wasn't doing that in her 30s. I don't know, but I have a feeling. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, especially people in my generation, are like, oh, I'm so old, I'm over the hill, I'm gonna, you know, turning 40, I'm turning 50, I'm turning 30, I'm turning 21, whatever it is. And I don't know, I guess I just don't buy it. I get it, I'm tired. I'm so fucking tired. That's part of the reason I keep talking, is to keep myself goddamn awake. I am so tired and stressed all the goddamn time. But I come on stream and I come alive. Because talking to people is what I love to do. Talking with you all is what I love to do. I don't think that's going to change when I'm 60 or 70. It might look a little different. I might sound a little different. I might look a little different. But, like, you know, I feel like a lot of the time people let age stop them from doing some things that they might otherwise be able to do. And again, I'm not trying to take this from an ableist perspective or anything of that nature. I understand that there are some circumstances that prevent some people from doing some things. But I bet there's other things they could do that they kick ass at if they just give it a shot. What is the Game Changer motto? The best place to start is the beginning. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna fuck it up if I just try to do it myself. Oh, of course, I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah, I don't remember, but it's like the best place to start is by beginning. The best place to do is by doing. I'm fucking it up. It's not. I'm not as eloquent as fucking anyone on that show, but yeah, and Squiz, you're stuck with us. We've been over this. I'm sorry. If I have to be here, so do you. Them's the rules, my friend. The best place to start is this beginning. The best. That's gonna drive me nuts. It's gonna drive me nuts that I don't remember. Persona! I also want to win the lottery so I can fund my friends. I agree. Because it was Squiz Kid's second birthday party this past weekend, and one of the kids unironically said Mega Giga Chat, and I just about died. Well, Squiz, for what it's worth, I can't teach you because I don't know that what I have can be taught. It's just a mixture of white person audacity, philosophical musings, and refusing to shut the fuck up, or being unable to shut the fuck up. One of the two. Take your pick. We're gonna put this. I think we're done. We got the boy. The boy's all grayed. So we're gonna put this in our little water cup over here. Don't drink it. Don't drink it, chat. Don't drink the water cup. It's not good for you. The only way to win is by learning. The only way to learn is by beginning. And the only way to begin is by beginning. Yes, exactly that. Thank you so much, Agbu. That is so helpful. I don't know. I just think that's true of life. That's true of everything, right? Like, it's a stupid game show on this amazing channel run by super cool people. But, like, the only way to win is by learning. The only way to learn is by beginning. And the only way to begin is by beginning. That's eloquent. I just love that, I guess. Okay, so give that a minute. He'd like to teach you, but he'd have to charge. It's true. No, I mean, honestly, it's just me going live, and especially today, it's just let's talk about this, let's talk about that, let's talk about this and like that and like this, and let's chill till the next episode. But happy to. Oh, thank you, Dicey, for the sub. I don't have my alerts on this screen, apparently. I didn't see that. Thank you. It's also the truth, Dicey. You're awesome. I also watch my own VODs, and I hate every goddamn minute of it. I don't know how you guys sit through this, but I'm really glad you do. On the plus side, if I think the last part of your computer, hey, that's good news. Praise well. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. Be chill. Boop. Not even middle-aged yet. I'm living in triple digits. And even if you are, right? Like, I mean, I want you to live triple digits, so fucking do that. But, like, even if you are middle-aged, like, who gives a shit? The middle. That's a lot of time left, y'all. Fuck, I remember when I was doing Shaolin Kung Fu, there were some little old biddies who were like way fitter than I was. You know? Could kick my ass too, for sure. I was talking this afternoon about Tango would see your comfort zone and give you a little shove, but didn't enjoy when you would return the favor. Who did, right? What was hard, was, at least for me, was getting that shove in. She was so comfortable in so many other places. It felt like that it was hard to find a spot where like you're like, meh, now you go do the thing. And most of the time, at least in my experience, she was like, all right, just like, this is less fun when you're okay with it. Confusion started by my own shoving. Yeah, very well. I agree. She's a good hider. All right. We need us some black. I got 2 choices in case the other one doesn't work out. We have some matte black, named for Matt, and some lamp black, apparently. Bzz, bzz. Buzz, buzz. Halt, who goes there? One moment, chat. I'm gonna make gifts for a second. Go for it. Clip away, you sick bastards. And, if that does anything for you, sup? Ah. I'm a little lightheaded. I think I forgot to breathe. Which is weirdly, not an uncommon thing for me. When I was born, I had a problem remembering to breathe quite a lot, actually. This is a pipette. I recommend them. You suck up water, and then you can squirt water places. This one's a little bit sticky because it's old. So, get a better one than this one. But it'll allow me to suck up some of my water and to dilute my paints with it. You want to make sure your paints are cut a little bit. You don't want to just have your paints come out of the bottle. But you also don't want to get them too watery either. It's a fine balancing act, of which I am not very good at. Hydrates do not mean out of the pipette. What if it did though? It's like a shot, right? Oh, children. The Velociraptors. God damn it. Ow. That's flecks of black paint everywhere. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I need to buy a new pipette, chat. This one's old and shitty. But it started with me during my painting journey, and so I'm sentimental about it, and that's part of the problem. And that's what I use these for. These popsicle sticks. I mix my paints with water with them when I'm not spraying black paint everywhere. Enjoy the other clips too. I'm sure I will. Gotta shout out the tip jar with that head nod, Dane. Fair enough. Toward Hen Green, do not pipette my mouth. I guess. Fine. You guys never let me have any fun. I have this brush, which already has some black on it. You can tell, because it's stained. So we'll use that. Don't make Hank Green become disappointed by you. Fair enough, fair enough. How many subs or bits to have you drink out of the pipette? Not paint, but water. Is it paint water or regular water? Because I can get rinsed out now. I mean, that's a pretty low bar. I'm a hoe for your entertainment. Oh boy. Focus. Focus. He's all gray. Ooh. No poisoning, so just straight water. Oh yeah, I mean that's a pretty low bar. Yeah, it is a cool mini. You might see it again sometime, Dicey. You and Spice, specifically. Perhaps. Alright, so this is our base coat of primer. Again, I don't have a black primer, so we're kind of mixing step 1 twice. So I've gone over it in gray primer. I'm now going to go over it in black paint. The reason we're doing that is that we're then going to go over it with a dry brush of gray paint. It'll get into the cracks and crevices, and it'll really pop. Looks like a gray dog. You know what, Ryu? You're right. It is a gray dog. How'd you know? But this gray dog has 3 heads. It's a gray Cerberus. But it won't be gray for long. It's eventually going to be black. Blackish. I'm thinking black with like... I might do each of the heads a different color, right? Like one like a purpley, one like an orange, one like a green. That'd be kind of cool. I was thinking like, because this is like flames on the side here. So I was thinking kind of like orange flames maybe, but maybe it's got like different colored flames coming off of it. I don't know. Am I painting it Growlithe color? Oh, that'd be cool. Now I wish I were. I was just going to paint it as like a cool D&D monster, but I don't know. There's your $5. $5. Oh, Prime sub. I didn't see it. Why didn't that show up? What are you hiding from me, Amazon? But thank you! That's true. If you have an Amazon Prime, you have a free sub that you can give away to a streamer of your choice. It doesn't have to be me, but it could be. $5 foot long. Alright. Let's get into this. Enough dilly-dally, shilly-shallying around, you know? Steve Lockhart would say. It's so weird seeing it go from black to gray to black again. It's like, well, what was the point of this? Well, it's because it was a plastic mini, and I don't like painting on unprimed surfaces. If I can help it. Heck, even some of the pre-primed stuff I don't really love. The paint just takes so much better on primed areas, I think. We're over the rainbow, way up high. There's a dream that I dreamt of? Land that I dreamt of? I don't even know. It's been a long time since I've seen Wizard of Oz. Once in a lullaby, though. This is a video game that I think was called Little Nemo. Do you think Little Nemo grew up to become Captain Nemo? There can't be very many people named Nemo out there, right? Probably. Me. Trying to get rid of it. Yeah, that's watch it without audio, which is weird. Hijack the Prime Day and be like mini painting day, Prime Day. There you go. I always wonder if people do that on purpose. And purple. Oh yeah. Yeah, I just thought just chatting because I'm really just kind of like running my mouth the whole time. But like I mean, art would be fine too. So we can already tell once this focuses. There's a pretty big difference, right? Obviously, we've lost a little bit of the detail, but it's nice and shiny, nice and glossy. It took well to the primer, so it's that, but all over. You do that anyway. Hey, hey, you're right, but hey. Look. I like to think that's why you all are here, is because I don't shut up. Unless I get really focused in on something, and then I have a hard time doing both. You know, where I'm like being pushed by, oh god. That bass drop though. I'm being pushed by like 3 guys in a game or whatever, and I need to murder some fools. Then I do focus up a little bit. And stop talking a little bit. But there are some supports from the 3D printing process still on this guy, and I'm just now noticing them as I'm going from gray to black, and I feel like it's too late to pull them off, but they're always going to bother me a little bit. And I just thought you all should know that. We can share in that. That cursed knowledge, there's parts of this mini that I'm going to hate forever. Because I can see them. I see a bad moon arising. I think we're about due for another Creedence Clearwater revival, you know? We've had one, but we're about due for another one, right? I feel like it's gonna happen every so often. And that is a dumb joke. Don't come round tonight. Round to end your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Man, this mini is pokey though. I don't know if you can see it, but like my finger's indented. Pity it's not 5 heads. Then you could do Tiamat Dog. Oh, that'd be sick. The Hound of Tiamat. Yo, that is some fucking... There are some, like, skulls on both the sides. Although it's on all 4 of the legs, so I guess that doesn't really work. That's a cool as fuck idea, though. Is this from Wii Sports or Mario Galaxy? Now, I could stop painting and look at what Game Chop says. But that sounds like quitter talk. Just has kind of a Galaxy feel, I guess. To me. To me. One of these days, I should get some high contrast or speed paints. I'm told it takes like half the effort. Especially for amateur painters. But I'm also lazy, and I have these paints already, you know what I mean? So it seems a little silly to me to like buy new paints when I already have paints. Why buy new paints when old paints still paint? Now, new colors, that's different. Version of Tangle's first book that I somehow cut off one of the series on the spine of her books. No one else ever noticed, but I felt like it was constantly staring at me. I kind of love that like every creative has that. Doesn't matter what you do, whether you trace or draw, stipple, whether you know, sculpt, do the wheel. We all have that thing where, like, it's our best work, quote unquote, but you look at it and you're like, oh, but the face, though, or whatever. What do you mean that's your favorite? I'm often reminded, good friend of mine, fellow content creator, awesome person, spent like 8 hours editing a video, putting polish, putting finishing touches, putting graphics and amazingness into it, just absolutely going above and beyond the Call of Duty, you know, the just absolutely amazing work that they were doing, and they wanted to highlight the research and topics that they were discussing. So they put like 8 hours of work into this one video, and that's just in the editing, right? That's not recording, that's not shooting, it's just in the editing. And it got like, I don't know, 300-400 views, maybe 600 on the outside. And this same guy like shit posted something a couple of days later, just a quick 20-second thing, and it went viral. Now that sucks a little bit, right? Like, it's cool, right? Everyone wants to go viral. That's super rad. Awesome. I mean, he's happy about going viral. But it's like, why does the thing that I took 2 seconds to record do gangbusters, whereas the thing that I spent literal hours of my life is barely getting any views? And I know, like, algorithm and other stuff, there's other factors, right? But I was like, I don't know, man, but I get that. Like, that's hard. It's sometimes kind of funny the things that people get known for, you know, get successful over. It may not be the thing that they're working their hardest at. It might just be the thing that caught on. I find that interesting. I'm really hopeful that we'll have enough black for this. Because I don't want to get more out of the bottle. Oh, serifs, not series. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Was it sans serif? Dumb. Yo, I put this black on his paw though, and the claws appeared. Pretty hot. I think this will look good when it's done. Well, if I don't fuck it up. Hope everyone had a good superb owl for those who celebrate. Sorry if your team didn't win. Sorry for hitting the microphone. Just now. You know? Serifs. It wasn't supposed to be sans serif, but it was. I keep shrimping. I apologize. I know people who stream this sort of stuff all the time, and props to them because I'm really glad it's not me. I like painting, I find it relaxing, but I'm also a bit of an Aries in that, not now, not currently, but I'm gonna get like halfway through this thing and be like, I'm ready to be done. Move on to the next mini. How painted does a mini need to be? That's good enough, right? It's totally fine. It's the dreaded black and gray Cerberus. Ah. That bit actually kind of reminds me of a Family Guy bit where Stephen King is selling his new book. And he goes like, all right, Steven, we need a new book from you. We'll pay you $1 bajillion. And he's like, oh, it's about an evil, he's looking around the room. Lamp monster. Lamp monster. The guy's like, you're not even trying anymore, are you? I think Steven says something along the lines of, well, do you want it or not? And he's like, when can I have it by? Yes, the dreaded half-gray, half-black Cerberus. Far deadlier than its known brethren. Totally by design and not out of laziness. Get the belly. Get the belly. Cerberus is a heckin' good doggo, though. I gotta say. I know the gates to the underworld are kind of a Greek thing, right? But I have to wonder if there are other, like, animalistic guardians of the underworld in other religions / cultures. By all means, please lurk, Squiz. Happy to have lurkers. We love lurkers. We love chatters. We love all of them. We like followers. We like subscribers. We like... I already said chatters and lurkers. We like people who support in other ways. We like people. Yeah. Yeah. This would also make a kind of a sick Houndoom mini. Obviously, Houndoom doesn't have 3 heads, but paint it like a Houndoom could be hot. A 5. Thank you for the lurk. I rolled a 9. And I'll form the head. Dun, 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 dun. Man, Go Lion, so good. Voltron, big fan. I know we just got a new series fairly recently as time considered, but I feel like we could get another one, you know? I need to get some sealant for my minis. That's the thing I need to get. I'm really bad at sealing my minis, chat. Seal your minis if you can. It will keep them safe. It is worth doing. Be better than me. Don't be like Dane. Seal your minis. What's nice is that since we're just doing a base coat, I don't really care if it bleeds over into other things, right? Once we get a little bit further along, we'll have to be careful and methodical and use fine-tuned brushes and brushwork. But right now, it's like, paint goes on model. Also, I know this view isn't very conducive for you all watching me paint, right? It's a little hard to see until I put it up closer to you. I could bring this closer, I suppose. I don't think that would help very much, but... well, maybe a little bit. There is lyrics in this song, and every time I think it's Spice trying to talk to me. And that's a me issue. That's a me issue, wouldn't you say? Do, 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 do. Getting to the tricky areas now, chat. Kind of the underbelly, grundle sort of area. But yeah, I talked for 10 minutes today about what color I think the Final Fantasy VI characters would be. I've done all the way up through 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on my TikTok. I'm going to do all of the mainline games and characters until the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy collab is finally released and or spoiled. I'm hoping to get them in before then. Tomorrow's going to be Final Fantasy VII, so that's going to be kind of crazy. I don't think it's going to be quite... It might be 10 minutes long, but not because there's 10 minutes worth of content to talk about. Final Fantasy VI is 14 characters, which is just so many playable characters, and I had forgotten that. I probably should have done 2 videos, to be honest. But I recorded one that was 10 minutes long, and I was like, screw it. We ball. This will be the longest video I've ever done, and no one will watch it. And not because it's not interesting, but because, you know, algorithms hate long videos, or love long videos, or love-hate long videos. It's kind of confusing. They change sometimes. Speaking of which, if you're ever on TikTok, hi! Feel free to check out my 10-minute long diatribe about what color pairing the Final Fantasy VI characters would be in Magic the Gathering, if that's your jam. I put research into it. I did my due diligence. Tried to make it entertaining. And if you disagree with me, too bad. Or, let me know in the comments. Both are options. Alright, I think that's a good base coat for Mr. Doggo. Let's double check, shall we? Boom. One of the Teefs was a little bit unpainted. But it has been kind of interesting to do, to be honest. This whole look into what I think they'll adapt for from Final Fantasy, or what I think they'll use in Magic the Gathering, has been an interesting little dive. I've really kind of enjoyed looking into it and kind of giving my thoughts about it. It's not going to be my main content, I don't think, but it's something I'm going to dabble into every once in a while. I think it's fun when 2 things you love are being combined, as long as care is being taken with the 2 things that you love, right? And I know some people are mad about getting chocolate in their peanut butter or peanut butter in their chocolate, but I don't know. I'm just excited about it. And luckily all the people I know who are that way are like, yeah, man, I'm happy for you. It's just not a thing for me. And that's okay. Not everything has to be a thing for everybody. You know? I think sometimes we get into that sort of mindset that everything has to be for us all the time. Everything has to be for everybody all the time. And there are some things that, like, don't, you know? Gardening is hard for me. I like harvesting and I like eating, but I don't love planting very much. That makes wanting to garden a little hard. Sid, every version of him, blue. Even Dragoon Sid? Like, Engineer Sid from 5 makes sense to me. I mean, they're all engineers, but you know what I mean. One of the other Sid party members. Yes, every one of them. Yeah, it's funny because I do think most of the Dragoons are going to be, in my mind, red-blue or blue-white. The reason being, white has a lot of flying. What I would like to see is like with like Kane Highwind, right? And I said this in his video, but I think it would be cool if he had like a self return to hand, make him blue-white, where he returns himself to your hand, and then when he enters ETBs, he does like 4 damage to a creature or something. I just think that could be cool, where you like tap him, return him to your hand, and then put him back out the next turn, or pay some mana, tap him, return him to your hand, just to signify the jump, you know. Because I was trying to think of like how they'll do that, how they'll do a jump mechanic within the confines of Magic the Gathering. Obviously, they could create their own, and there's nothing I can do to stop that. But they could make a jump keyword, which is actually probably closer to what they'll do. I'm trying not to guess on what I think their abilities will be too much, but though it does come through here and there. I'm just kind of trying to go for colors, because I think that's going to be the easiest thing to look back at and be like, oh, I was right. You know, Tara Branford was blue, green, white, or whatever it is I say. Her abilities are totally new and different or whatever, but hey, I was right about the colors. Woo. Raid mechanic? Oh, I could see that. Yeah. I wish there were more raid pirates, to be honest. I know that's how they were like used for a while. But I'll be honest, with the new pirate stuff from Ixalan, I was really kind of hoping that Raid would see more of a resurgence than it did. And I didn't really get that, which is a shame. Because I like the Raid mechanic. And it's hard too, right? Because like there are a lot of weapons in Final Fantasy, and a lot of weapons you see multiples of, right? Muramasa, Masamune, not just in 7, but in a lot of respective games. Mjolnir, you see a lot of a lot of things. And it's like, I think it'll be a little hard to get everything into one set, obviously. I'm just hoping we get some characters, and like, I'm a 7 fanboy, I am fully admittant of that. But I'm also really hoping we get some cards that aren't just 7 based. And obviously we've seen 10, we've seen 13, so we know that they're coming, we know that's going to happen. I'm not saying they're doing a whole set for Final Fantasy VII, but I'm just hoping that like 7 gets its day, but I also want some payment into 9, into 10, hell, into 8, I guess. It's not my game, but I got friends who would love to have that. 13, 12, all good games. And I guess that's kind of where I'm at with Final Fantasy, right? And large video game series and franchises like that, where I'm just kind of stoked to get another one, even if it's not for me, even if it's not like my absolute favorite or whatever. It's just kind of nice to get another one. I know a lot of people had problems with 15, understandably so. 15 had a lot of problems, but I cried at the end of 15, and I've talked about that before, but it was such a powerful ending for me, and it hit me where I live enough that I cried, you know? This is the black base coat done. We're now going to need to use a gray, of which maybe Spice has one handy. Ah, Vivi'd be so good. You like 7? That's news. I know, right? Excalibur would be cool. Dash, yeah. Oh, thank you for playing my game. Again, I thought it was somebody talking to me. Damn it, Game Chops. Mario! I love your work. I think it'd be funny. They'll never do this. I don't think. I don't think they'll ever do this. But I do think it would be funny if they did, like, the Black Mages, the band, the deck. So it's like Vivi and the 3 Black Mages you fight in 9 and other Black Mages whose names escape me in this very moment. I just think that would be kind of funny. Ooh, neutral gray number 5. Neutral gray number 5. Don't mind if I do. But yeah, I just think that, you know, I want 7 to have cards. 7 is the one I'm most excited for. But if they got Snowvilliers from Final Fantasy 13, of course I'm going to build a Snowvilliers deck. Are you kidding me? I don't care what he does. I don't care, like, he could be blue counterspell, and I would 100% build him. And that's weird for me. And I'm excited about Dragons of Tarkir, or whatever it is. Tarkir of Tarkir. I think that'll be fun and cool. I'm excited to see what they do with that. Tarkir sets were always fun. Aether Drift is more interesting than I gave it credit for initially. It's not my thing, really. Not my speed. But, yeah, that's fine. Do I paint the base now? Yeah, you're right. Spice and Rose, a fantastic artist, giving good artist advice. Just what? Well, you can be dying and still be a good artist. They're not actually mutually exclusive. In fact, I think most good artists were in the process of feeling unwell.
Also, if you tap snow, you have to shout Sarah.
If you tap snow, you have to shout Sarah. True. Ooh, 16's version of Black Mage. I don't think I've gotten to that. But I know Ryu mentioned the Tonberry from 15 would be cool. Not from 16, but from 15. The lightsaber Tonberry. I'm just like excited to see what they do, right? Like, do they do all the villains? Because that's 16 villains. I mean, I guess if you discount 11 and 14, right? But we've already seen, I think, 11 and 14 cards. At least 14 cards. I cannot imagine a world in which they don't do Final Fantasy 14. Some sort of nod to it. Maybe a secret there, sure. I was just thinking like a part of the set. Oh, 16 different... Oh, gotcha. 16 different versions of Black Mage. I'm down, right? I mean, I think that'd be funny. But yeah, like the Nazgul cards Spice just said. Let's fly. The horses of evil can't defeat a mage in a night. A weird little kid and a ninja master key change mofo. That's another Brent of Lost song, speaking of the guy earlier. He did this song if it had lyrics. Sorry, mixing paint over here. See? Capcom Fighting Collection 2? Guess what's on it? That's right. Power Stone 1 and 2? Let's go. That's crazy. On FF1? I think that'd be cool, right? Like, and that was my thought. I think it'd be neat. So my guess for Final Fantasy 1, Agbu, was that they would be monocolored. Because I think that makes the most sense for Final Fantasy 1, right? Granted, I understand, you can build them out. There is some customization in there, but like the fighter is a fighter, right? The black mage is a black mage. The red mage is a red mage. The red mage is the only one I could see who might be multicolored from that. If they do it, I posited that fighter would likely be red. Hasty creature, a lot of warriors and barbarians and berserkers in red. I could see white too, of course. White mage I thought would be white. Black belt I thought would be green if we're sticking with the monocolor, just because I think of the monks of Kamigawa, and they were green. Black mage is the one that I kind of go back and forth on. If they made just a flat black mage card, right, it just said black mage on it, that was the title. Legendary creature, black mage, who is a black mage. I think they'd almost have to make them mono black. I know it doesn't really fit with Magic the Gathering too well, because when I think of like powerful spellcasters, I think of either blue or red typically. But I don't know, something about making the black mage mono black just tickles my brain. And then red mage I think would be a combination of white and black, or white and whatever color that we decide for black mage. If it's red, white and red. If it's blue, white and blue. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be cool of them to do. Where they're like, hey, here's your black belt card. Enjoy. Or even if, like, I know in Dissidia, right, the Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy 1, and actually with Final Fantasy Chaos, we saw a reimagining of that. I'm hoping they don't do it that way, personally. Strangers of Paradise. But, I think every series should have its representation, at least a little bit. So, maybe it's a 4-color card that's just Warriors of Light. And it's all 5 of the main characters from Final Fantasy 1. That'd be cool. I'd be cool with that. I don't know. There's a lot of ways I think they could go about it. Garland should allow you to summon chaos on his death? Yes. Today, since I was talking about Final Fantasy 6, and it's fresh in my mind, I thought that Terra Branford should be a flip card, where the first side is like, what did I say, blue something, and then she flips into her transform, because I just thought that would be neat. There was one of the characters from 5 whose name escapes me at the moment because I'm doing other stuff, but he's the Bard, and his stats suck ass until you get him like to level 60 or 70, and then he has the best stats in the game. And I thought it'd be fun if he had like the level up mechanic, that old forgotten mechanic that they haven't used in a while. I just think it'd be fun. I want them to have fun with it. I want them to be flavorful. I want them to be cool, but like, I just want to see like attention to detail. I want to see love there. A love for a game that's changed my life and that's shown me that no matter how dark something is, there are warriors of light that may rise up to fight, regardless of the situation. Whether it's eco-terrorism or, looking for crystals or overthrowing an empire, whatever it might end up being. I just think it's, I don't know, very near and dear to my heart. And, like, as much as I like the Final Fantasy trading card game, it's hard to get into, to be honest. I will give Magic this. It's so easy to learn. There are some weirdness about it. Like, there are definitely some weird interactions and some niche cases, but it's just so much easier to learn than the Final Fantasy card game was to me. And maybe I didn't give it its fair shake. That's fair and probably true. Yeah, double-sided level mechanic. I agree. Lightning should be an I win card. Maybe not the first Lightning, but like Lightning Returns Lightning, maybe? And that's another thing, right? Like, we have no idea. The games that got sequels, are we going to see like Dirge of Cerberus cards? Is Cersei gonna have a card? It's not Legato Blue Summers, that's Trigun. Legaro the Beast, or whatever that guy's name was from Dirge of Cerberus. Like, is he getting a card? Because that's crazy if so. I will say, my wish list, one of my wish lists, right? Obviously, like, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy 13, the ones that I talk about all the goddamn time, Final Fantasy 9. But from Final Fantasy 9, I want a Beatrix card. I want a Beatrix card so badly. I love that lady. Hojo should get a card. Yeah, Lightning Return makes her super dumb, but like in a cool way for me. I liked Lightning Returns. I actually liked 13 in general. Just the whole series. All 3 games. 2 was a little lackluster, but it had its moments. I did have a problem with Lightning Returns, though, when I got to the final boss, and I couldn't beat them because I had leveled up the wrong clothing. Basically, I had the wrong stats. And I reached a point of no return where, like, or at least I couldn't figure out how to go back. Maybe it was a user error, but I reached a part where, like, it didn't feel like I could go back. And so I've never technically beaten that game. Maybe I'll do that on stream one of these days. Play through the 13 Chronicle. There are some rock bits on this model that I am so stoked to put some, like, panel lining into. Once we get past the black, the gray, the white, the bass, the rock, the mic, and the treble. This is a lot of setup. We're probably not going to finish this tonight, to be honest. But this is the setup portion of it. This is the less exciting part of it. But it's because we're laying these ground steps that the rest of the mini is going to pop. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another stream of this. I kind of want to, but we'll see how I feel about it afterwards. But regardless, I will post pictures on my Discord and on Blue Sky. Maybe I'll make a video on the TikTok about it. We'll figure this out. But this tedium is going to make the rest of the mini pop, I do believe. And I'm all about that pop. That sody pop. This stream brought to you by Dr. Pepper. That's not true. That's a lie. I lied to you, and I'm sorry about that. Although, Dr. Pepper, if you're listening, actually, about that. So, I've been looking into some affiliations. I've been looking into some potential revenue streams for the stream itself, right? I've talked about it maybe ad nauseum at this point, but there is a part of me that does not want to sell out, quote unquote. the part of me that wants to let my art be art and doesn't want to have anyone else's dirty hands in it. Hey, thanks. Yeah, it's coming along nicely. That doesn't want to like sell it to the man and have a corporation tell me what to do and how to create my art. I'm a punk. Look at me. But there's also a part of me that likes corporate money, and I think we could do some good with that. To that end, we'll make a soft announcement here. I have an affiliate link that I'm hoping to grow with for a brand that's very near and dear to my heart. And one of the brands that I vouch for, and my friends often make me pimp when I'm on stream. So, I may have been accepted into their affiliate program. I'm getting some things set up, I'm getting some things in the works, but more about that soon. Probably next stream. Actually, I don't know if I want to bother Jazzy and Ashwood about it, but next stream, or at least next Tuesdays. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it'll be a good opportunity. I'm looking forward to working with this company again. It has been a while. Let's see. 6 years. It's been 6 years since I've really done any work for this company. This is kind of fun, giving like vagaries. The birds, the bees, the fire, and the sword, and the prophecy. God. And I understand Brennan has a head start, but man, that guy has such goals. Him, Matt Mercer, Abria Iyengar. I just want to be as good and talented as them. And I know there are some things that I do better than them, because that's true of everybody. But, man, Brennan is so quick-witted. And I know. The improv. It's the improv, in part. But it's a skill I would like to hone, because it's so fun to watch. Him just pop off. You are. You're just not famous yet. Well, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Much like the money conversation from earlier, if fame allows me to, help people do cool stuff, then yeah, I'll be famous. It's fine. It's not a huge goal of mine. It would be cool to be famous, I suppose, in some ways. Pain in the ass in others, I'm sure. But, I wouldn't mind being a household name in nerd spaces. And I would hope it would be always followed by like, yeah, that Dane's a real good guy. That's my goal. I want to get out of this life being a good person and having affected some good change. Whatever that might look like. No matter how small or big that might be. The fact that this song came on as I'm talking about this is pretty fucking lit. Sunrise over a dusty western town. But yeah, and I will admit, in the past few years, my DM skills have atrophied a little bit. I haven't gotten to flex them as much as I would like. But they can always be raised again. Skills can always be rehoned. And relearned. You just need to try again. Yeah. I just want to see cool people succeed. You know? All my streamer friends. Gaming Theater Presents. People I don't even know. I'm not that interested in making and hoarding money. That doesn't hold a lot of interest to me. But I do want to see cool people do some cool shit. And I also understand that money is the motive. Sometimes. Nope, that was almost an entire portion I missed. How embarrassing! But yeah, I don't know. The fuck were we even talking about? How did we even get to this conversation? It's cool seeing what seemingly good people in nerd spaces doing good work and making things like TTRPGs a household name. Or improv a household name, you know? Improv used to be just a thing that like the theater kids would do. You would see the theater kids doing improv, and you'd be like, oh, that's kind of neat. Like, those guys are kind of funny. But it was not, like, something that everybody did or everybody knew about. Dungeons & Dragons, video games, Pokemon cards. Actually, Pokemon cards have gotten crazy in recent years. I know that, like, I think Costco was talking about reducing the amount they're ordering because they just don't want to deal with it. Because so many, like, rabid collectors, and by collectors I mean mostly scalpers, probably, are making a mess of the place. They're just, like, coming in and being dicks about it. I did see the videos of people rushing Costco, which is, like, I get it, right? Chase cards and opening packs are fun, and hobbies are great, don't get me wrong. But if you have to trample somebody to death, there's a little skull on this. That's a really neat little detail. Speaking of death, if you have to trample somebody to death to get an Eevee card, fucking sort your priorities out, yo. That's just my 2 cents. Or an Umbreon, or a Charizard, or whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be Pokemon. I'm not trying to single out Pokemon collectors. Pokemon's awesome. But just, like, fucking sort your fucking life out, mate. Hobbies are cool, but they're not at the cost of human life, you know? Like, this light's dying. It was cheap. I still have the God light if I need it. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, sure, but eggs can be a necessity. Toilet paper, I would argue, is more of a necessity than a children's trading card game. Or a video game, or tickets to a sporting event or concert, right? Like, eggs have, not to say that cards don't have real value, but eggs have, like, eggs will keep you alive. XT Sleep wants to collaborate? I don't know you. Maybe you're watching. Let me preview. What are they up to? What are they doing? Oh.
I feel like it's harder to join a TikTok
you're watching them.
a TikTok live than to join a Twitch live. Nah, we're just trying to ask a few questions. We're interviewing people and stuff.
Oh, they're interviewing stuff. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just asking a few questions. You know what I'm saying, for a video I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Let's help this person out.
Yeah. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on?
Let's go. What's good, man?
Hey, not much, man. This is one of the first times I've ever done something like this. What's up?
Okay. So basically, I'm just asking a few questions. You know, do you know what month it is?
Yeah, February, Black History Month, right?
Okay. Let's go. Boss. Okay, so I was just asking people to name, like, you know what I'm saying, as like just 10 black people if they can. You know
Oh
what I'm saying?
shit.
Just in honor
Okay.
of Black History Month. In
I
30
mean-
seconds though.
30 seconds. Real or fictional?
Anything.
Anything. I mean, we got, okay, I'm a bit of a nerd, right? So we got Storm, Aurora Monroe. We've got Black Panther, T'Challa, of course, Hail the King, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We got Serena and Venus Williams. We've got, let's see, who else is there? Kendrick Lamar, gotta mention him, right? Shout out to my guy Megaran. He's a nerdcore rapper. Really appreciate him. Fuck. My good friend Tina, she's a stand-up comic out east. Let's see. Who else we got? Fuck, man, I'm put it on the spot and I'm blanking now. Ify Wadiwe, love his work in the TTRPG and stand-up community. Shit.
I think that was more than 10. I'm not.
Is it
gonna lie.
really? Is it really? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. You did better than me.
Oh, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, is what it is. You know, you got good people in your life. You remember good people in your life, right?
Wow. Round of applause, man. Well, I appreciate that so much, man. You're a great guy.
Well, shit, I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to like cuss or whatever. On
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I'll be
cool.
cussing too. I'll be cussing too.
You know how it is. I like to be respectful.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So you doing this for like
All right, man.
TikTok or YouTube? What's the video for?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it into a little YouTube video. I've been interviewing people and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Getting some crazy results.
I bet. It's
Yeah.
it's a time to be alive. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, facts. A great time to be alive.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, man. You have a great one. I thank you so much. I appreciate you for doing it.
Hey, you two. Is it XT, right? Is that what you're?
Yep.
Cool.
Or you can just call me Sleep. You want to call me Sleep.
Hey, Sleep. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
All right, bro.
Take care.
You too.
That was cool. You know?
Bro. Bro.
Sometimes you gotta take a chance, chat. Sometimes you gotta see what people are up to, you know? Give people the benefit of the doubt. We're all human out here. That's coming along pretty alright, I'd say. Is that a spot I'm missing? Just doing some nerdy ass painting, you know? Take some time, chat with some people, meet some cool folk. Good enough for me. Oh, hey, what's up, chatters? Next, welcome in. What kind of nerd am I? I don't know, man. Too many to pick, right? I got too much shit that I'm into. Why pick just one thing, right? Life is about spice. Life is about experience and different stuff. You gotta just fucking... I don't know. No sense in picking one. Buy random mixtapes? Hey, that mixtape was good, okay? Ryu and I were in a... we're on a vacation, and a guy offered me his mixtape, and so I bought it. Because I'm always looking for new music. I'm always looking for good stuff, right? Like, and who knows? That dude could, blow up and become huge, and I can be like, hey, I got his mixtape back when he was, selling it on the street for $5 or whatever. I don't know. I just think it's cool. Hey, Agbu. Oh, thank you, Next. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have a good night as well. Agbu, rest well, friend. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. We'll catch you next time. Yeah, I have to make sure I go back and follow Sleep. That was cool. Very respectful. A little out of the blue, right? But I don't mind that, right? Life's all about little random meetings, right? I think about this all the time, chat. Like, sometimes I go back to, like, decisions I've made in life, right? And that, like, divergent path, right? Where I chose, to eat cereal instead of oatmeal or whatever. It's usually more serious stuff than that, right? Like, the place I went to college, the first place I went to college, I spent 2 years trying to get a degree, sucked ass at it. Came back down to my hometown, finished my 4-year degree, then went and got another 4-year degree. But if I hadn't done that 2 years where, like, I sucked ass at it and just didn't do anything, You know, like, I wouldn't be where I am today. I could be somewhere completely different. And maybe it'd be better, but it could be a lot worse too. I think about that a lot. You know, sometimes life is all about just the little random stuff that crops up and comes your way. And how you deal with it, who you meet, and, you know, form these relationships. Now more than ever, I feel like relationships are going to become real important. Shit be crazy out here. I wonder how he found me of all people. That's pretty cool. Of all the people on Twitch, just chatting, of all the people on Twitch, they asked me, and that's cool. That's cool as hell. I don't know. I just think life's neat sometimes, you know? And, you know, I'm not saying this would be the case with sleep, right? But, like, it could have gone a totally different way, right? Like, I could have been, I don't know, jumping into some rude person's chat, whatever. But, you know, like, why not take that chance? And at least you got a cool story out of it, even if they're, like, an asshole. Sleep was great, though, to be fair. I'm not talking about sleep at all. Very respectful, very cool, you know, came to me to ask if he could ask some questions. All about it. All about it. We got the gray down. We got the black down. Now we got to do more gray. But the gray's going to be a little bit different. Gray's going to be a little bit different. So we've been doing wet brush work right now, right? So we did the primer underneath. Then we did the black paint on top. Both wet. This is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do what's called dry brushing, right? So we're going to take our brush. It's going to be dry as the desert, y'all. Dry as something else. We're going to take our paint, we're going to rub it onto our paper towels that we've got sitting next to us, and then we're going to brush it onto some areas. You know, we don't want to cover the black entirely, we just want to highlight the raised edges and sort of the raised parts of the model that we want to see more of, where the light kind of would hit the miniature. So this is one really good thing. Artist, I mean, Spice and Rose probably knows this way better than I do, and could explain it way better than I do. She's fucking rad. But we wanted to kind of decide where the light's hitting. I'm kind of wanting like a face-on approach, so we're gonna have a lot of light in the front area and a little bit less towards the back. Is my thought. We're not trying to cover up the black. We're just trying to put a little color in there, a little definition. It's really gonna make these cracks and crevices pop. So like, let me see, let's focus in here. Do my best beauty TikToker, you know. Come on now. You can do it, camera. I know you're cheap, but I believe in you. Sometimes you just need a little encouragement in life, right? Channeling my inner Bob Ross here, that's for sure. So yeah, some of these, like the veins and the muscles on the neck and stuff, they're gonna pop so much better once we get some gray around there. We good. We good. Where is my gray? There it is. All right. Sus time. Sus gift time. Get your clip ready, I guess. I don't know of a not sus way to do that, to be honest, chat. Enjoy your clip. Oh god. That was way more than I probably needed, but hey. Give this another few minutes to dry. I guess we could start at the Cerberus part, right? We're gonna raise this up just a little bit. Just finding I need just a hair more light. And like I said, this technique specifically is a little bit new to me. People much more talented than I have done it already and done it for a while. But that's just it. You know, you gotta be shitty at something to get good at something. I keep saying that, but it's true. And even though I've got misgivings, and even though I'm, nervous about it turning out crappy, and you guys seeing the flaws and the gaps in my knowledge, or whatever you want to call it, I don't know. There just ain't no reason to be worried about it, I guess. We all start somewhere. No one starts great, and if you do, good for you, man. Like, way to be. If you come out swinging, shit, you got a gift. I keep finding spots that I missed with the black. I don't know. I just think there's a lot of pressure on folks, especially these days. All of us content creators out here ruining everything for everybody or whatever. But there's just a lot of pressure to, like, be great all the time at everything, And I'm guilty of this too. I feel the pressure as well. Some people are like, oh, did you see this movie or this TV show? And in the past, before I kind of came to the conclusion that I didn't want to do this anymore, I'd be like, oh yeah, totally. I totally saw that, 17-hour documentary that you're talking about. It was real good. Like, I don't know why I did that. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I think what it was is that I was afraid they would think less of me, right? I think I was worried that if they knew I hadn't seen it, they'd be like, oh, well, Dane is not as cultured, or not as cool, or, blah, 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 blah. Like, just bullshit, man, right? Like, it's what it is. That's what it is. It's bullshit. Who cares if you've not seen that movie? Who cares if you haven't seen that show or read that book? You can if you want to. You have the ability to. You can go do it now. Like, who cares? I don't know. I just think there's a lot of pressure on everyone to be experts and amazing and great at everything all the time. And sometimes you just have to start. You just have to put some paint on a mini and go, huh, yep, there's a spot missing right there. Okay. Maybe that's an accent point now. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and touch it up. We got options. This is cool. I don't know. I've never had someone pop into my chat like that and just be like, what up? Can I interview? Can I ask you some questions? Like, that was a cool experience. I'm going to be thinking about that a lot tonight. Like, just ruminating in it, living in it, It's just neat. Super neat. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm just waiting I'm literally watching paint dry. Do you all want to watch paint dry? I can't tell if it's the way the light's hitting it or if I'm actually seeing white when I hold it up to the camera like that. Right there. Nope, a little bit of white there. Whatever. Let's get some highlights down. Probably don't need to wet this down. We can just go ahead and... I like to get my brush nice and gunked up, and then we're going to rub it on this paper towel. And then, let's try it on the spire first. I just want to see how it looks. Sometimes it's good to pick a portion of it that you don't super care about when you're trying out these techniques. Already looking way more dynamic, chat. I don't know if this will show up. I don't know if that shows up for you, but you can see the swirls of gray in the stalactite here, this like flamey piece. That's what we're going for, but like everywhere. So screw it, let's pick a face. Let's pick a face and just do it. Just do the ding ding thing. And again, we're not trying to cover up the black paint. We're just trying to put some relief on it, some highlights on it, if you will. Yeah, that's what we like to see. Hell yeah. And the more we do it, the more it'll fill in those cracks and crevices. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this very well, but I'll try. So we did this one over here. This is the one that has the gray on it. But I want to show you the middle one first. Zoom and enhance. I don't know how beauty vloggers do this, man. It's crazy. Please. Whoop. All right, so the middle one here, unpainted. This one, you can kind of see the detail really comes through a lot better just by highlighting it with the dry brush. You can kind of see the cracks and the crevices just a little bit better. Yeah. I like that. I like that. I think I'll have a second. I'm always worried I'm gonna like dry brush too much of the material out of the paintbrush. And that never happens. I always have way too much on it. But another thing I really like about dry brushing is that you don't really have to be that skilled with a paintbrush. You can just kind of like very lightly, you know, apply it to areas that you want to see highlighted. You know, and I'm sure if I were being a little bit more careful, right, like we might be able to like get some better highlighting and stuff, but I just kind of want to illustrate, like, you don't have to be like meticulous. A lot of people don't start painting miniatures because they think that, oh, I don't have an attention to detail enough. And like some of the stuff you don't have to. Oh, dude, that's so sick. That came out so freaking sick, yo. I missed a whole bunch on that guy too, though. Oh, funny. Let's see if I can get the middle guy in focus. Look at how much better that is. Look at that. Oh, it pops so much better than even like this one on the left here. How does this work? How do I camera? Like look at the difference. You love to see it. Love to see it. Just a light dusting to get some of them highlights in, you know? You don't need a lot of paint. You just need enough to make it highlight. And what's cool about dry brushing too is that you can always go back over it if you want to. If you really want to like drive that contrast home. You can go over it again a second time if you really want to. It's a little bit much in my opinion. It's not necessary. Getting around that tongue. What that tongue do? Stupid. Things you say on stream and then instantly regret. But not really what that tongue do. Oh, I should have said the New Day. Love those guys. I'm not a big wrestler, but they make me want to watch wrestling. Their bits are always so good. There's some creepy looking Cerberus heads. You can wear your brushes out like this though, so I definitely recommend using like a kind of an older, rattier brush that you don't really care as much about. You will do some damage. I haven't heard from Spice in a while. I wonder if she's asleep. Hope she feels better. This will look even better. So we're going to basically do the same thing after we're done with the highlighted areas. And we're going to do the same thing to the in white, but it's going to be a little bit more choosy, a little more selective of where we do it. I think it'll look really cool. Basically a nice, easy way to put highlights in on something. You don't want to go too crazy though. You can lose some of the contrast if you're not careful. But yeah, you literally see like I'm just like over here brushing like a madman. You don't need to be super careful with this process. I mean, you can be if you want to be, right? But it's just about getting some paint on those edges. Just getting some dry paint, barely a whisper, you know? Just enough to make it interesting. And the more you go over a certain area, the more of that color from that brush that you're going to put on there. This is a little bit easier, I'll admit, in the light of day. Or with bright overhead lights. But we're doing it on stream, so, you know. You can kind of do it anywhere, if you need to. As long as there's a little bit of light, and access to paints and paintbrushes and water, I guess. So you can kind of see, I'm going to try to show this off, how that kind of pops more, right, than it did before. To show you some contrast, I've done a little bit on the side here, but I've not touched the butt at all. So you can see the contrast from this head over the contrast on the saddle in the back here. Kind of night and day. And this is before coloration, right? I'm going a little bit heavy on it, I'll be honest. I got a little carried away. But I think once we move to coloration, some of that will fall away a little bit because we'll have other colors in play. And I think it's really going to make our parts of it shine, kind of come through. I'm trying to go lighter on the bottom because I don't want as much there. Because the light is supposed to be coming from the top, right? Just like on this tail, just very lightly. The back leg, a little bit. I like dry brushing in general, and honestly, I think that if you do nothing else, right, like a good coat and then a dry brush layer really does go quite far. If you don't have time for anything else. Oh, that was way too much there. Shit. I didn't dry it enough. I'm was worried about that. Sometimes you should listen to yourselves, chat. Sometimes you're like, I should give that another wipe, and then your brain's like, no, it's probably fine. And then you should be like, nah, brain. I don't think it is. I think I should give it another wipe. Make sure that it's fine. Your brain be like, okay, that makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. Again, it feels weird going for the grundle, you know? I feel like I'm invading this dude's personal business. Actually, I guess I don't know what gender this Cerberus is. Presumptuous of me, I apologize. I fully believe that if ladies want to be guardians of the underworld, they should be allowed to, and can be. Ooh, make me choose Namor or Aquaman. Aquaman. Namor's always a dick. Aquaman has this phase where he loses his hand and he gets like this sick hook and he's got the Sword of Atlantis. That Aquaman's sick as hell. Namor's always a dick. I just don't like him. Though I haven't seen the movie with him in it, the new Marvel movie. Well, new to me. New to me Marvel movie. And I think his catchphrase has always been stupid. Imperious Rex! Like, I just... Shut up. No one gives a shit anymore. But Imperious Rex. Like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. No one cares. No one has cared since the 70s. I'm gonna feel really bad when I meet somebody whose favorite character is Namor, because I don't care for him. It's kind of like the Fantastic Four for me. I just don't super give a shit. Like, they're fine. They can be around. I don't hate their existence per se. But like, it doesn't do anything for me, you know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, alright, cool, you're from Atlantis, I get it. Thank you, Squiz. It's coming out alright. There are some things I would do differently, but that's part of the learning process, right? Like, the next Cerberus that I paint is gonna be even better. Probably. Probably, right? Alright. I think this is probably about as much as the gray we're going to do. So now you can really see those things start to pop. I went a little heavy with the gray, I'll be honest. He's got a lot of cracks and crevices that I really wanted to showcase a bit more of. With the white, we're going to be a lot more selective. At least I'm going to try to be a lot more. I'm pretty heavy-handed a lot of the time, so like, you know, we're going to try to be selective. We're going to try to be selective, but there's one more thing I want to do. How about you, Ryu? Who would you choose, Namor or Aquaman? tape is starting to give way a little bit. Alright. What's nice about dry brushing too is there's not a lot of paint on there, so you don't have to wait for it to dry as much. We do want to give our brush a quick swish, swish and flick. A little bit sad I quoted that. Oh well. Part of my childhood that's ingrained in my brain, apparently. So this, the white one, I was heavy-handed on the gray, but I'm going to try to be very, very light on the white. Because white's really strong, first of all. Second of all, we want to make sure we're not covering up the gray or the black. And this is just supposed to highlight the highest points and some of the edges. It's a little snow sprinkling, little Salt Bay action. Here's some more clips for y'all. That looks so fucking sus. Also, I have proof of life from the spice. I just heard them sneeze. So they yet live. Which I think we can all agree is a good thing. I know this guy's dying, but let's just try to be careful. It's a half-life, a cursed one. Well, I am sorry to hear that, Spice. That sucks. I did not know that when somebody asks to join your chat, they've got a preview button. You can go see their stream. It's kind of cool. We learned tonight, chat. We learned some stuff. Just telling myself, less is more, 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 less is more. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. Just a little dab. A little dab will do you. Little dab will do you. Yabba dabba do. Wait, that's something else. Let's see if this worked. Yeah, a little bit. That's pretty hot. There's a couple other places I want to do it on, but so you can see the tops of their ears are more white than the gray of like the chest. Really make some of those finer details pop. Provides a lot of really nice contrast. Ooh, look at that. That looks so cush, like you could sit in it, you know? Especially once we give it some color. Those flames. Oh, the flames are a little heavy. I went a little heavy on the flames. I'll give me that. Little feetses. Show the other side. I think this is coming out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with this so far, which is always dangerous to say and admit, but you know, here we are. Tiny bit more, just a hair, not much. Rip, I just tried to raid you, but I spelled your name wrong. Was it D and Diane? I would never do that. That's never something that I've ever done. What's up, Reliant K fan? Welcome in, friend. Gotta make sure I spell your name right. No, I'm gonna assume that was correct. We're doing some painting. We're painting us a little Cerberus. A little Lawu. It's coming pretty well, I think. Coming along nicely. Love the details in it and how those are popping. The D and the double D, I get that a lot too. Dan Dane, you know, hey, don't worry. Thank you so much for being here, Reliant K. I really appreciate that, friend. Everybody, please go give Reliant K some love from me to them. Awesome content creator. Met them through a mutual friend. Just super happy to support some folks, especially some good folks. You know, we need good folks in this world, as I've been talking to you all night about. But yeah, give them some love if you're not following them already. Please, 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 and thank you. You won't regret it. At least I don't think so. What were you playing? How'd your stream go? If you need to raid and run for any reason, of course, by all means, please feel free to do so. That goes for anyone raiding over as well. We love people who take care of themselves. Here at the old Dean Dane Factory. If you're new here, welcome in. My name is Dean Dane. I'm a charity-inclined TTRPG and video game enthusiast here on Twitch and other places. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me all over the ding-dang place. But, yeah, that's kind of me. I'm into charity. I'm into trying to make this world a little bit better place. I'm into role-playing games. I'm into minis. I like video games. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff. But if you're coming over from Reliant K's group, you are absolutely in good hands. They are an awesome content creator. 10 out of 10, do recommend. Okay, for risk of spoiling it, I think we need to move on from the white. Because if I will obsessively keep trying to make things pop and or lock. And we need to not do that, because this is dry brushing. It's supposed to be light, it's supposed to be airy, it's not supposed to be too heavy-handed. There's an old Eddie Izzard joke about chiropractors, where they bring you in and they're like trying to get your back to pop, right? Because that's their job. And there's some of them that are really obsessed about it, going, make the noise, I can't live unless you make the noise, wanting your back to make the popping noise. Because his whole joke is that they crack your bones. Come over here, we crack your bones. Go over there, crack your bones. You have this wrong, we crack your bones. And that's kind of me with dry brushing, where I'm like, make it the color, I can't live if it's not the color. Which is dumb, because it's not supposed to be. It's not like wet painting, it's dry painting. So it's supposed to be light, airy, different. Anyway. Ooh, you were Eldening a ring? Ah, man, good luck. Did you see my wife there? Ronnie's great. Yeah, hard game. Where you just did a bad thing. You ordered a full set of the Dragon MTG promos? I mean, it's your year. You kind of have to, right? I don't make the rules. I've never been to a chiropractor. I'm a little bit scared to go, to be honest, because I've been told that it's, like, addictive. And then, like, once you start going, you just, like, yearn for it. So I'm kind of afraid of that, to be honest. But I hear it's amazing. Oh, man, the white highlighting on this is so sick. Oh. The gray was good, but, like, the white, I feel like the white and the gray just pops, you know? Makes it hot, real hot. Little blush on your cheekbones, sir or madam. I do kind of miss Elden Ring. I'm excited the new one's coming back, even if it does have a battle pass or whatever. Microtransactions. That's the word. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Get away from me. Nope, I just threw that God knows where. Gone like 4 times, but it was back in high school because sports and growing pains or something. I don't know. I don't really find it addictive. That's just me. I find it does use a lot of nerve and muscle tension, so that might be it. I could take it or leave it, to be honest. Yeah, I just think it like, I think maybe that's it, right? You feel the relief, and you're like, oh, I want to feel like that all the time. But I don't know. I've never been. I should go one of these days. I should call her. I don't know what that means. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, a whole new game, Elden Ring 2, right? Kind of. So it's not Elden Ring 2, but it is like different Elden Ring again. It's like a remix album. Also, dang, is microtransactions for runes or something? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Ryu was talking about it. Elden Ring microtransactions. According to a network test, Reddit reports that Night Rain will have microtransactions. Which, that doesn't, I mean, maybe it means something, right? Maybe it doesn't. Hard to say at this point. It'll still probably be good. Like, who am I kidding? What am I going to be like? Oh, I'm not playing it now. Like, you know better. You play Fortnite and other games like that. Just ignore the microtransactions, Dane. You silly person. And I think, actually, to be honest, I'm going to kind of go with a minimalist kind of technique on this. I don't actually want a lot of color. I just want some concentrated colors. We actually might be able to finish this up tonight. Let's try it with the orange. Sus clip moment incoming. Gotta shake your paints, y'all. Especially when they've been sitting as long as mine have. Does look a little bit sus, though. Alright, chat, I need your help. We have Fire Opal, which is kind of a sparkly, like, not sparkly, but like a metallic orange. Or we have Orange Twist, which is kind of a regular creamsicle orange. I kind of want it to look like sort of like baleful hellfire on one of these little guys. So I was kind of leaning the Fire Opal, to be honest, but I could see an argument for this as well. Scott Cobbler got access to the Night Rain beta test. I think he'll be streaming it on Saturday. Okay. So I love them both. I also really like orange. I'm kind of leaning the Fire Opal. I don't know if I can show it well on camera, considering it's paint. That's the color of the fire opal. That's probably not going to show up very well, but ignore my face camera. It's pretty. I like it. I don't know. I'm worried it might pop too much, to be honest. It is really metallic-y. But that could be kind of neat, right? I guess if I don't like it, I could always just go back over it with black. Sometimes life's about taking risks. Dude, Yoshi's story? I'm kind of surprised we've not gotten another Yoshi story, to be honest. Damn it. This pipette is old, so it makes a mess. I know they say you don't have to wet your, water your paints, but I'm also not using speed paints or contrast paints, so I'm going to. It's an old habit and it dies hard, but it's who I am, damn it. Yoshi, my boy! Forever your Smash main? Hey, I can respect that. I'm not a Yoshi main myself, but I do respect the hell out of that. I'm one of those dirty Fire Emblem players, to be honest. Which, I know. I'm sorry. I'll leave. I also like Rob. Wario, Wii Fit Trainer. They're not my mains though. That would be Robin. Man, eyes are the hardest things to paint, and I started with them right now, and I regret all of my choices. Learn from me, chat. If I die here, know that my last thoughts were of you, and of how much I hate painting eyes. Though creature eyes are a little bit better than people eyes, because you don't have to worry about them. A lot of my human eyes come out a little cross-eyed, which is hard. I don't love doing human eyes, to be honest. It's not great. Not great. We're using a very fine-tipped brush. Very fine-tipped. To get into these small, tiny cracks and crevices. I sometimes hold my breath when I paint, so if you hear me exhale really loudly, that's why. You have a hole in the seat of your jeans? That's not good. I mean, better to find out now than, like, when you're out and about, though. I suppose. Wii Fit Trainer? Oh my god, I love them. I used to play theme songs, like intro themes for my characters, and Playing with the Boys from the Top Gun soundtrack was my Wii Fit Trainer noise. It's very silly. Volleyball for days. My cat desperately wants my attention right now. Alas, they will have to wait. Oh, there's a little bit of like a sprue from when this was 3D printed on this eyeball. Maybe we'll turn that into like a cool spike or something. Or like, an adventurer has fought this beast already and stabbed it in the eye, but it didn't take. Bless you. Fair Spice. May you feel better. May you expel your demons through sneezing that only I could hear. That I'm now bringing attention to because I don't know why. Man, if I had more time in the day, I would love to paint more. You know, and I know everyone says that. You know, if we had more time, we'd do our hobbies more, but like... And then I go and do something like that? Son of a bitch. Pardon my language, chat. You know why I said eyes are difficult? I meant it. Every word. I think we're okay. I think I saved it. Well, not really. Ugh, that's gonna bother me. And this stupid sprue. Bah! Bah, say! You're going to... You're going to Twitch jail. We'll miss you, man. Good luck. Sorry to hear that. That's some bad news bears right there. Breaking news! Reliant K fan arrested for Twitch shenanigans. Subject was said to have a hold in their jeans. News at 11. And then I'll be there. There'll be an interview, and I'll be like, yeah, you know, you think you know somebody, and then here we are. It's been real. Okay, I'm not only streaming, I'm only not streaming tonight. I'm going to bed now. I didn't realize how tired I was. Want to see the end result when you're done. Not a problem, Squiz. Let me show you this one last flash of color. See you off into Slumber Town. If you're still here, if you haven't closed it already. If you've closed it already, then obviously you're not going to see it. But come on, focus. Squiz has to go to bed. Got a little color pop. Little color pop on the little guy. Good, good. Rest well, friend. Thank you for being here. We will catch up soon, alright? Let's see. Do I trust myself? No. No, I don't. I'm gonna do it anyway. Also, apologies, all. I had a carbonated soda, so if I'm burping a little bit in your ear, I apologize. It's not intentional. I'm trying to hide it. If you haven't heard it until now and you're like, what's he talking about? Don't worry about it. It's fine. But I'm not trying to be an ASMR channel, and if I have been, I'm sorry. the Luma song. Time to bring out the tissues. True. Though I will say the Luma from the Mario Brothers movie was very funny, but a little too real. Oh, this is my jam. Gotta admit, chat, this is turning out okay. He jinxed himself. So I decided to do some orange in the mouth to sort of highlight, like, I don't know, its element or its color. Might do another pass, just thicken it up slightly. But I'm kind of digging it. Kind of digging it. And then, as Reliant K-Fam likes orange, I have an idea. I still needed that color. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. We can fix it, we can fix it. Fix it in post. Thank you for telling me. I never know when those things are going to hit. we'll take the other orange and we'll do a little highlight work in the mouth. Just a little bit. Welcome back. We want to leave some of that contrast there, but it's got a little bit of that orange creamsicle on the tip of that tongue. Just barely. And then what we'll do is we'll wipe off most of it. Once we finish this head, we will wrap up for the night, though. My kitties want my attention. And who am I to deprive them? Do a little bit of dry brushing again. You won't be able to see this, probably, but similar to where we took the white and dry brushed it, I just took some orange around the mouth to give it kind of a glowy effect, is my hope. So you can see there's kind of like some rouge. Make it look a little bit more fleshy. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that, I think. My D&D players, when I throw this at them, probably less so, but... That's neat. Alright, we'll go ahead and put this to the side for now. Sad I have to end so soon, y'all. My apologies, but the kitties are calling. And I must go. Let's see. Who are we raiding this evening? Got a number of people on. Will do, will do. Huge shout out to a number of people. Big shout out to Dicey Vim for the resub. Oh, no, sorry, for the gifted sub, excuse me. For XT Sleep for the interview. For Next Maria for the follow. And for Reliant K and the crew for coming on through. Hey, that rhymed. Let's go. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. I hope you had fun. I know I did. We're going to go and raid a friend of mine who is playing The Final Fantasy. They just hit 100 followers, which is cool. I'm gonna put some raid messages, a subscriber raid message, and a follower raid message. If you like what you saw here this evening, we would love it if you give us a follow here on Twitch. You can also find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok for as long as that's a thing. Actually, recently on TikTok, I've been doing Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering predictions because they're getting a crossover set. So we do a lot of different random stuff in different places, but you can find us there. We would love it if you'd come and adventure with us again sometime. I have been and will continue to be D&Dane for the foreseeable future. And, you know, maybe we'll do more mini panning. This is fun. I don't know if it's going to be an every week sort of thing, but I feel pretty good about it. So we're going to raid Moon Crystal 2002 this evening. Let's go ahead and get that going, shall we? I'm going to raid and run probably, but thank you, adventurers, and to all our other friends, raiders, fellow streamers, etc. Good night, Reliant K fan. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. Stuff's crazy, I know, but until next time, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, bring light to the darkness where you can, and don't forget to get that bread. I have been and will continue to be D&Dane for the foreseeable future. Until next time, we will see you Thursday. Don't forget to take care of yourself, Cerberus says. We'll see you on Thursday. Love each and every one of you very much. You matter. You belong in this world. We'll see you then. Bye!